challenges the intellectualist to point out any other significant connection which his terms true, truth, etc. can have. The pragmatist says to the intellectualist, I pray you to define the truth of an idea apart from its leadings and guidings. I defy you to supply other meanings to the word truth than that of guiding and getting us there. Does agreement mean anything different from that copying and leading by which pragmatism explicates this word? Now this puts the intellectualist in a hard situation. If he answers, I mean by a true idea an idea that agrees with, that copies or corresponds to reality, the pragmatist replies, but what is it to agree with, to copy, etc., reality, if it be not just to lead, to guide, to get there? Now what can the intellectualist say in reply? Suppose he undertakes to define his meaning of truth in different terms. These terms would suffer the same fate. The pragmatist would explicate them in his terms of leading, guiding, getting there, etc., and then ask the naked intellectualist to put on different garments. I can see no other way by which the intellectualist can escape this dilemma than simply to abide by the terms by which he has defined a true idea, and insist that it is the pragmatist who has forced upon these terms a meaning they cannot take without involving one in intellectual confusion. The intellectualist should, therefore, maintain that the terms in which he explicates the meaning of a true idea give a perfectly defined relation of the idea to reality. What more definite relation can legitimately be demanded? How can the intellectualist, in fairness, be asked to define in other terms what he means by agreement with, by copying, by thinking reality as it is? May he not, with more propriety, ask the pragmatist by what right he makes these terms mean leading, guiding, getting there, etc.? This leads me to the real issue between the intellectualist and the pragmatist, and first to that distinction between an idea's being true and the proof that it is or was true. Let us take the case of Leverrier and the discovery of the planet Neptune. We have the following things. 1. Certain perturbations in the motions of the planet Uranus which could not be explained by the influence of known bodies of the solar system. 2. We have Leverrier's idea of a planetary body of a certain mass and position in the heavens. 3. We have the agreement between the calculated perturbations which this hypothetical body should produce in the motions of Uranus and the actual perturbations observed. 4. We have the discovery of this planet, afterwards named Neptune, by a German astronomer who, following the suggestion of Leverrier, pointed his telescope to that exact spot in the heavens where this planet was. Now the intellectualist contends that Leverrier's hypothetical conception was true the instant it existed in his mind, and that the trueness of his idea consisted in its agreement with a fact, a piece of reality, an object, at that time existing, namely, that planet occupying a particular place in the physical universe. It was the existence of Neptune then and there which made it possible for him to have a true idea at that time. Had he thought differently about this planet, this same body would have made his thought untrue. His idea was true for no other reason, and true in no other meaning of the terms, than that it agreed with its object. Furthermore, the contention of the intellectualist is, that had Leverrier gone no farther in his undertaking, had no telescope ever discovered that planet, his idea would have been as true as it was after the discovery which completed the verification of his hypothesis. His idea did not get its quality of truth by the process of verification. This only produced the certainty, in his and other minds, that his idea was true. It is one thing for an idea to be true. It is quite a different thing to prove that this idea is true. It is one thing to hit a mark. To know that you have hit a mark is a different thing. A bell may ring to let you know that you have made a bull's eye. The ringing of the bell is a sign, the criterion of the correctness of your aim, but it hardly constitutes the trueness of your aim or your making the bull's eye. Leverrier's idea hit its Mark. What was subsequently done made that fact known. Truth and verification are therefore different things, and to make the truth or the verity of an idea consist in its verification is to introduce mental confusion, and to make unintelligible such a procedure as Leverrier's in the discovery of Neptune. It is true to say that a true idea is one that can be verified, and that only true ideas can be verified. But then these ideas are not true because they are verified. They are verifiable because they are already true. This brings the intellectualist to the second distinction upon which he insists, namely the distinction between truth and its valuation in terms of desirable experience. To say that truth should have good practical consequences, that those ideas are true which work well in practice, that every true idea leads into satisfying experiences of some sort, is to say what no intellectualist need deny. But to say that an idea is true because it has this practically good issue, or because it works well, is to say quite a different thing, and something which no intellectualist can accept. There are, so contends the intellectualist, conditions on which our human action or the course of experience depends, and to which our actions, our experiences must conform if they are to have successful and satisfying issues. Only as a particular experience is in agreement with conditions of experience, überhaupt, can it lead to beneficial or desirable experiences. Ideas, therefore, can work well, can lead successfully, only if they first agree with reality, with the objective and determining conditions of our experience. This is just the fact that the pragmatist overlooks when he identifies the truth of an idea with its practically good leadings and consequences. He insists that truth shall be practical, but he fails to answer the question, how can an idea or a course of experience have a practically good leading or result? To take your illustration of bread as food, you ask, does bread nourish because it is food, or is it food because it nourishes? Or are being food and nourishing only two ways of meaning the same physiological events? The intellectualist answers, bread nourishes us because it contains those chemical elements which are nutritive. A particular substance is not bread because it nourishes because it is bread. Being food and nourishing are two ways of meaning the same physiological events, but being bread and nourishing are not two ways of meaning the same physiological events. The intellectualist need not deny that a true idea has an instrumental function in relation to our various needs, that a true idea is a tool to be used in the service of the will or our practical nature, but he contends that the efficiency of the instrument, the serviceableness of the tool, depends upon the construction of the instrument, upon the quality of the tool. That a knife cuts well proves indeed that it is a good knife, but that which enables the knife to cut well is the quality of the steel and the fashion of the instrument. In other words, the knife cuts well because it was rightly made. Its cutting well merely proves that the knife was rightly made. The proof of the pudding is in the eating, but it will hardly do to say, therefore the good eating is the pudding, or is that in the pudding which gives us that satisfying experience of eating this pudding. Yours, etc., John E. Russell.
3. Dear Russell, your letter is so ultra-clear, and brings the question down to where the wool is so short, that I can't help dashing off one more word, though I know I can't convert you. First, I note with extreme pleasure your explicit confession that truth, in the intellectualist sense, cannot be further defined. It means agreement, and agreement means truth. That is one point clearly gained. My second remark is simply this. If true be not an abstract name for the property of verifiability in an idea, then an idea might conceivably be true, though absolutely unverifiable. there might be no empirical mediation between it